when we bought this house, I had a lot of very specific requirements. I wanted the house to have a lot of wood in it, to have some antique touch to it. Uh, there were a lot of things that I wanted reused, things that we had at home, which I, for a very long time, which I wanted to bring in here. And add to the memories that we've been carrying.
So one thing on which Shweta and Shiva were very keen on was they didn't want any pictures of themselves around the house, or they didn't want any paintings which would mean nothing to them. So that's when we gave it a thought, and I knew that they were into traveling and they travel a lot. So we thought, why not take up their own pictures so that their experiences reflect on the walls and they get to feel something out of it, instead of any random painting which is done by some random person thinking something else in their mind. Why not keep something which is which grounds them to their roots and which reminds them of all the good time they have had together. So we have framed all their pictures. Entire house is filled up with all those frames. And basically wanted it to look a little different from what the other houses look like. So we met a lot of people, a lot of designers, but they all came up with ideas that I could see in every other house. So I'm glad that we met on the elevator the other day, Jyoti. I mean, it was a very chance meeting that we had, but I'm glad that we met, we discussed and shared ideas, and I think you understood what we needed very perfectly, and it all just worked out.
Yeah, talking about the living room, I had 2 or 3 key wants or preferences. So one is I wanted the ceiling height to be retained. I didn't want the ceiling height to be reduced by adding a false ceiling, so I was against it. Whereas she wanted a lot of lights and ambient light and options to keep some lights on and lights off, which was challenging without a false ceiling. But Jyoti came up with a very good idea. She designed this and it kind of met both our needs and it has come out very well.
So I believe one of the most important thing of the design phase was I got to know what they wanted. So as a designer, it's my job, to talk to them and try to gauge something which is not said explicitly, and to know what their interests are and what would keep them happy, and what is something that they would see and they'll be surprised as well as happy at the same time. So that's when I suggested them to go with the arches. Even in the kitchen entryway we have given an arch, and for the lobby especially they had a beam going in the middle, so we tried to give the arch so that it looks symmetrical. And I think it turned out great because of what the experiences which they shared with me about their travel. That's the system which through which I generate what the output should be, that the end user, that's them, would like it. So I believe the arches did the work.
Adding on to what Shweta brought up earlier, right, about reusing a lot of stuff that we had with us earlier. So one important thing for me was to retain the dining table that was there at my home. It's pretty old. It's been with my family for close to 45 years now, and I didn't want to let go of it. It's quite big, and we were worried about whether it will fit here, whether it will go with the look of the house. But Jyoti helped us refurbish it, and kind of she changed the whole look of the dining table while retaining its the inherent antique quality of the table. And I was very happy that I took that decision, and she executed it beyond what I expected actually.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean, we also had I had an antique dressing table which came from my aunt. I think I have seen it right from the time I was a kid. So, but it was like a very old piece, but I wanted it, and I think it has been refurbished very beautifully. I sent a picture to my aunt, and she was like so happy that it was done, and we still have it at home as well. So we're very happy to have a lot of our old stuff here, but yet not clashing with the whole new look of the house.
Then we were looking for something, vintage, something in wood, because they were totally into wood. They wanted solid wood furniture. So I searched a lot and I could finally find a proper wooden engraved, border which is running across the house. You can see it. It runs in the lobby as well, which binds this entire house together. Everything, I believe, the wood in the sofa or the refurbished wood in the dining table. So we wanted some channel, so that all of this looks cohesive. So I believe this wooden border is what is binding them all together.
It's really nice. There's a lot of space that's available, and I wanted a lot of storage space, which I got, and at the same time I didn't want it to look very cramped and very filled in. So I feel like both the requirements have been met. So now I have a place for everything, but still the house looks nice and open and not very cramped and crowded. So,
one area that I was very keen on was the study area, or my study table rather, because we all know right now with work from home, that's the spot we spend most of our our time every day. And I was not happy with what I had, my previous place. It was cramped and it was closed and not very open, or kind of used to give me headaches actually if I spend too long working there. But so I was keen on having a study table which is close to the window. I get ample sunlight. I have a good view and I get some breeze. And it came out exactly the way I wanted. I get to see the open, space in front of the apartment with a good view of the metro line and other buildings, and I get ample sunlight.
we had a very small space for puja. I think it's come out really well now. It's like a highlight when everybody talks about it.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's a nice peaceful place where you can sit, pray, meditate, and then just study also. So it's got a nice feel to it.
So even as a designer, when the entire project is done, it takes time for me, to take the things in and to process them. It's a different thing when we enter. I can see the house and I know the potential the space holds. Doesn't matter what state the place is in, but yeah, you can see how, you can imagine how the space can look alike. So yeah, the day I entered this space and after listening to the brief which they had, I knew that this house could be something exceptional with very minimal thing. Yeah, the maintenance thing was of utmost priority to them. Both of them are working, and I know the pain people go through when both of the people are in the technical field and they have to go through all the shifts. You don't necessarily want you to spend your time in dusting things, while I believe they want to enjoy that time together as a family, to make new memories. That's what I wanted to do, and that's why we kept the decor to least minimum possible, so that no time is wasted in keeping up the things.
So though Shweta actually had spent a lot of time with Jyoti in designing the whole look of the house and how it should turn out, what color scheme, lighting, but actually when we moved in, she was not here. She had to travel on work. So I was the person that saw the house when it was almost done completely, and she missed that experience. And I say that I was floored completely when I saw the house when it was done. It was totally different from what I had imagined, in a good way. That is, I was very happy. The initial feeling when once I entered the house, I was completely happy with what was done.
Yeah, and you kept sending me these videos and these photos, and I could just not concentrate on work. The only thing I was thinking is, why am I not here to see this whole thing?
I was here when these wallpapers and this textured wall was being done, and I was impressed right away with the wallpaper and the textured wall. But once these rafters and the LED lights and all the other lights were in place, this kind of everything came together, and the end output was kind of amazing.
You were very skeptical about the wallpapers. You were like, no wallpaper in the house. But I think after it was put, he really liked it.
Today, actually, when I sat and I looked at the entire house, that's when it sinks in that the project is finished. And I can't describe the feeling in words, that how it feels to see things take shape. And every project is special, every house is special, every person residing in that house is special. And I'm blessed, that I'm getting to weave the dreams which other people are having. Some way I'm doing my input, that they had a vision, they wanted something exceptionally beautiful for them to spend their life in, and I got to be a part of it. And yeah, I'm happy with the output, and I hope they are too. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next chapters in the Tranquil Living Design Studios journey. Have a good day.